from WBBZ-TV Sports. It's time to beat the champ. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Peck and Sue Novoitsky.
Our Pennsylvania getaway continues for week 3 of our 4-week stay here at Byllye Lanes in Bradford, Pennsylvania. And Sue, the bowling has been fantastic. The scores have been high, and I have the feeling we're going to see more of that today.
That's right, and it's turned into a real hometown day. We've pretty much sent all the Buffalo people back to Buffalo, and only one left standing, and that's Chuck Jagodzinski. But the Bradford, Pennsylvania local people have to fight each other off to get to him.
Yeah, Shawn Mosier, who's a Bradford guy, is our returning champion from a week ago. Dan Gould, Tim Montouri, both area guys. They'll be the first 2 up, and then Chuck Jagodzinski will be the last hope for the Buffalo area to try to keep things rolling. But looking forward to it. Shawn Mosier was really impressive in his win last week.
He was, and he's going to be tough because he has an air of confidence about him too. You know, even whether it's his first show or not, he just carries himself, and I know, just can tell by talking to him that he's very, very confident. But it's gonna be a fun show. We're gonna end up with a lot of laughs because I know that Chuck's in rare form today.
So that's always good to know. Thank you for the warning. I think our viewers appreciate the warning as well too. So hey, what else is there to watch? Some great bowling week 3 here in Bradford, Pennsylvania. So let's get rolling.
I'm here with our incoming champion this week, Shawn Mosier. You know what your job is, right?
Yes, win.
To repeat. We haven't seen that yet. Why do you suppose that is?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's bowling well. I think it's just getting lucky and carrying some strikes when you need them.
Have you seen anything strange with transition in your one match?
Not really. I hope I don't see any today either. So last week I was fortunate and carried some strikes when I needed them, and hopefully we can do the same today.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Dan Gould, kind of a local guy. Don't have to travel all the way to Manor 2 today anyways. Tell me what you saw out here this week and how qualifying was for you.
It was definitely a pretty wide open pattern. I mean, it was a house shot. It was just, good to the right. It was just all about carry at that point. I shot pretty good, average in the 230s, during qualifying. We'll see how we do today, see if they play the same.
Yep. Well, I know you're not nervous because you've definitely been here before, but you are only facing one Buffalo guy. The rest is local, so I think that, the hometown advantage might not be here, but going to have a good time today out there?
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see how I do, and hopefully I roll them good.
Okay, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
It's Mosier versus Gould, our first match of the day here. Shawn Mosier, our returning champion from a week ago from nearby Kersey, Pennsylvania. But we're going to get a look at Dan Gould first off. Dan's from Lakewood, New York, just outside of Fredonia. And we've had Dan on the show before. This is his 4th appearance. 1 win and 2 losses. Last time we saw him was at Manor 2 Lanes in May after he had advanced, winning at the Jamestown Bowling Company to come up to Manor 2, and he wound up losing to Gary Kenyon that day.
Good shot.
Good start for Dan. So now we get a look at Shawn Mosier from right here in the Bradford area. Shawn was really impressive in his 246-204 win over Rob Piccoli in the last match of last week's show. And Sue, this guy is a hard thrower. We were having some fun with Rocket Rob Piccoli. I think Shawn was throwing it faster than the guy they call Rocket Rob.
Yeah, we've seen
Supersonic
over 24,
Shawn might be our new nickname here. So. And there's a strike from Shawn Mosier at a pedestrian 18 miles per hour on that one. We'll watch the speed gun here and keep an eye on whether Shawn Mosier really blows any of them over 20 miles per hour. Now, we've got great scoring. The guys really seem to enjoy the conditions here, but as we get later in the day, we always know they start to break down a little bit, and that will be the challenge.
Right, speed will definitely be a factor in this match, and Dan throws it a little bit softer, so you're going to see him deeper on the lane, but they're going to play around the same spot now. We're going to notice them between the 3rd and 4th arrow, so they're pretty deep on the lane looking for the oil that's in the middle.
Well, we've enjoyed our trip down here to Bradford, Pennsylvania, and it wouldn't be possible without the fine support from the folks at the university here in town, and that is Pitt Bradford, and we've had a chance to get to meet some of the fine folks who are part of the experience at Pitt Bradford, and as soon as you watch Dan roll here, we're going to introduce you to another one of them. This is Dan in the 2nd frame, and he'll have to play for the spare. Brett Butler is the Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at Pitt Bradford, and He's the man who heads up all the sports and all the successful sports and intramurals over at Pitt Bradford. And Brett, we appreciate a little bit of your time here. Thanks for joining us.
Well, it's a privilege to be here. Thanks for asking me.
You know, and I know you're busy. It's that time of the year when everything is overlapping, the end of your fall sports, the start of your winter sports.
Yes.
Basketball's getting going, wrestling getting going, volleyball finishing up. So
correct.
Trust me, I get it. Time is of valuable right now.
It is, but it's a great time. It's an exciting time.
What's it generally like, sort of the athletics at Pitt Bradford, the traditions, the feeling, and its role in the campus community?
Absolutely. We have a very important role in the campus, also in the community of Bradford. We're an NCAA Division III institution. The focus is on the total student athlete. Academics are first. We look to recruit a solid student athlete, putting the emphasis on their classroom experience first, and certainly their athletic abilities. We try to give them a comprehensive collegiate experience, academics first, and athletic rounds out that experience.
Yeah, and the folks that are watching us up in our home base of Buffalo, maybe, it may ring a bell because you guys play in the Allegheny Mountain Conference, which includes a whole bunch of Buffalo schools like Deauville and Medaille and Hilbert. So they'll notice your teams and your scores if they're watching some of those schools, right?
Sure, yeah, we play them in every sport. Proud members of our league. We have to make many trips north, and we have great relationships with our friends and colleagues up in Buffalo.
Yep, and they have to make many trips south, sometimes not in the most opportune of weather conditions either, right?
You know what, though? It's one of our closer trips for all of us. So
it's a big spread out conference, isn't it?
It is spread out over to Steubenville, Ohio to the west, and down to the southern part of Pittsburgh, Greensburg, that area.
So I know you've got some cool stuff that's going on right now. I talked about the overlapping of the sports. Your volleyball team still playing right now in the playoffs. That's the kind of the focus for you a little bit right now,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, we're going to be paying attention to the scores this afternoon. Coach Tom Roof does a fantastic job. Our women's volleyball program is outstanding. They're playing in the AMCC semifinals this afternoon. And I'm hoping to have a reason to go to Penn State Barron DeMar to watch them play for the title.
That would be nice. That would be nice. By the way, we have a guest scorekeeper here. It's Tricia McElroy, and she is one of your student athletes as a member of the bowling team here at Pitt Bradford. She's going to help us out with the Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard for the entire afternoon. This feels like a good time to take a short break. We'll be right back with more action on Beat the Champ. Welcome back to Beat the Champ. Let's get back to the action here on WBBZ-TV. Well, Brett, this is the home turf for the Pitt Bradford women's bowling team, so it's nice to have them be a part of it, and obviously we're here for bowling. Give us a sense of how important that sport is to the community at large and to your team as a whole.
Absolutely. Bowling was added to Pitt Bradford 5 or 6 years ago. Sarah Foley, who is our excellent coach, was one of our first recruits. She was an outstanding bowler, helped lead us to 2 consecutive AMCC championships, and we were able to hire her last year to take over for our women's program. And of course, it enhances our entire department. Women's bowling is an up-and-coming sport within the NCAA, an important spoke in our wheel.
Sarah is going to join us on next week's show as our guest commentator here as well too, so we're looking forward to getting a chance. And apparently she came pretty close to being a part of this show as a qualifier, if not for some pesky little knee surgery that she needed.
Sarah's an excellent bowler, and I can assure you she's going to speak much more intelligently about the great sport than I am.
Well, by the way, Shawn Mosier is perfect through 6 frames, where we don't want to make sure we lose sight of the fact that he is bowling great right now and just continues on a roll. So I know that you've had a wonderful tradition over the years of athletic achievements at Pitt Bradford. You've turned out some All-Americans and a number of different sports and won a number of conference championships. Give everybody a feel for sort of what's been really good athletically for you guys.
Well, just to circle back to the original comment, first and foremost, we want to put the emphasis on student athlete. So we have numerous academic athletic awards, numerous academic All-Americans. We're certainly just as proud of that as what they do with wins and losses. Last year was a great year. We had 2 All-Americans. Allie Renfret scored a 2,000 point on the basketball court.
Wow.
And was also named academic All-American. On the baseball field, Austin Parent was a junior last year. named first team All-American. And that's quite a feat when you know there's 408 Division III baseball programs in the country who was ranked first.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Is this a good? How many of your athletes are from the general area here? And then the follow-up question is this area around Bradford and McCain and Potter counties? Is this a pretty good athlete? Does this turn out some pretty good athletes? It's a good sports area.
It's a great sports area. Of course, it's a good, hard-working, look-in-the-eye, blue-collar type demographic. You know, the population isn't there, so we do have to go into Buffalo and Rochester, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. So we go into a regional recruiting, but there's excellent athletes within the hour for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys compete pretty much in almost every sport across the board, right? I mean, there are really no football, but almost everything else, right?
Absolutely. 14 sports, 7 on the women's side, 7 on the men's side, and very passionate athletic student body.
That's great. Nothing better than that. Shawn Mosier, passionate about bowling, passionate about ripping them down at 19 miles per hour. He is perfect through the first 8 frames. Sue, what's he doing so well?
He's making shots. He's keeping the ball where he needs to keep them. And he's being chased by Dan, which you can never let up because Dan's just one mark behind him. So
yeah, this is an amazing match we're in the middle of. Dan Gould has thrown 4 consecutive strikes as we move to the 7th frame. Oh, just didn't get that 10-pin to fall down. Don't forget, we're going to move up to Lockport for our next month's worth of competition, 2 weeks from today. And our top qualifier in the round of 24 up at Byllye Lanes will win a television valued at $500 from Dirt Cheap TV. So that's where we'll be after next week's show here in Bradford, heading on up to Lockport. Another spare for Dan Gould in the 7th frame. Dan's from Lakewood, I mentioned, just outside of Jamestown, a meat manager for Tops Markets, 33 years old, bowls regularly in the Thursday night leagues at the Jamestown Bowling Company. He's had 40 career 300 games.
wow, that's a big number.
Yeah. And just by the way, as you look at the Castellone scoreboard, it's not that Tricia is shirking her duties by not writing anything down alongside Shawn's name. It's that she hasn't had to because he's been perfect throughout. We got a great turnout here. I would assume you get similar support from the community here for your athletic events, right, Brett?
We do. It's a sports-loving community, whether you're at Bradford High School for an event or Pitt Bradford. There's 2 great games in town with the high school and the university. And it's always great to have the community and support our student athletes.
9th frame, continuing to be perfect, is Shawn Mosier. Don't forget, the interesting connection, should it happen, Sue, is one of our 4 perfect games on Beat the Champ in just under 3 years was bowled by the guy who owns this place.
That's right. And all of a sudden, it took so long to get our first 300, and now we're getting to this point a lot more than we did. But he's won this match, and it's just about the 300 now. Oh.
And as soon as you mention it, Sue, right, Brett? That was the old jinx there, right? The old announcer jinx.
You don't mention a no-hitter during the context of a no-hitter.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, does not take anything away from this incredible match by Shawn Mosier. It would have been fun to see him match Paul Geiger with a 300, but he's going to get a win, and that's going to make him, Sue, our first double repeat winner here since we've been in Bradford. So we know Shawn's moving on. We will talk to Dan Gould about what it was like to battle against him. We'll get you ready for that next match when we all return. Hey, Brett, thanks for the time. Good luck to all the Pitt Bradford teams that are competing and going to as well.
Thanks for coming down to the great community of Bradford.
Well, it's great.
Well,
we've had a great time here. Brett Butler is the athletic director of Intercollegiate Athletics. We thank him for joining us here to talk a little bit of Pitt Bradford athletics. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more Beat the Champ right after this. Well, Dan, it's not often the 258 is not good enough, but unfortunately you ran into a pretty hot guy in Shawn Mosier.
Yeah, he threw it really good, and so did I. And he had the better breaks. The game threw it really well, and
I got a couple of 10 pins. What are you going to do? Can't throw any better than that.
No, you can't. We usually by this time of the day, the lanes start to break down a little bit, but it didn't seem like they gave you guys any trouble.
There's actually a smidge of hold in the middle, and you just play that line, and it'll give you a good look right in there. So.
Yeah, well, nobody's happy about that than Byllye Lanes owner Paul Geiger, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you the scores, and like you said, Paul, traditionally you watch the shows and the scores start to go down, but we're not losing any of that. So, it's a good thing. It's tough when you shoot 258 and lose. So, he can't do any more than he did.
Yeah, we'll try to make him feel a little better.
Yeah, a little consolation prize. Right. Danny, thanks for coming down. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Dan, always good to see you on the show. Hopefully we get you back again soon, too. But we've got a red-hot Shawn Mosier trying to make it 3 in a row. We'll see whether that happens when we return to Bradford, PA, right after this.
I'm here with Tim Montouri, one of our qualifiers today for our third show in Bradford, and the individual who won the Dirt Sheep TV. So, high qualifier, you must have seen this place and had a great shot, right?
Yeah, I came down on a Sunday evening and gave it a whirl, and everything lined up for me. I was able to move from lane to lane and still keep the same shot, and the score took care of itself.
And the recipient of a new TV, do you have it yet?
Oh yeah, it's still boxed up, but they had it here the night of the finals for the qualifying, so I'll get to it sooner or later.
All right, well, that was pretty exciting to win that too, right?
I'm already ahead of the game.
That's one way to look at it,
Yep.
and we'll see what you've got. And is this your first time on television?
Yes, it is. Now I can take that off my bucket list. Huh? Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens, and have a good show today.
Well, the next guy who will try to slow down, literally and figuratively, Shawn Mosier, is Tim Montouri, the next challenger here on week number 3, match number 2 at Byllye Lanes in Bradford, PA. And Tim is a local guy. This is an all Bradford showdown here. Tim is from right here in Bradford against Mosier, who's from the area as well, too. So this is going to be fun between these two guys.
Paul here is going to give us the best play-by-play, as he knows these bowlers.
Done. You got my job here, Geiger. It's all you.
I'm all over it, Paul.
Yep.
Just give me the green light.
Voice you hear is Paul Geiger. He's the owner here at Byllye Lanes in Bradford, and he's going to join us for this match, partly because he knows these guys better than anyone, and he'll provide some good insights here, and plus talk about all the cool stuff that's going on here at Byllye Lanes. So here's Mosier's first frame. He was throwing warm-up balls at almost 25 miles an hour. That is amazing.
What's funny is in my years in the bowling industry, I've always seen the lane condition to be reflective of the owner. So no owner is going to look bad in their own center. So however the owners have, whatever their characteristics were, the lanes kind of matched. And I have only seen one lefty on this show. How about
it? How about it, huh? Yeah, it is kind of. And the only one was Andy, and he's from Buffalo. It's not like he bowls here all the time.
Right.
How cool would it have been, as we briefly discussed, as it looked like Mosier was on his way to a 300, to have two of the 300 games be you and him? Absolutely. That would have been awesome.
I believe me, I made a statement when I was watching. I said if he gets the one in the 9th, I think he's going to do it. But he really piped that one there in the 10th and came light.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Tim Montouri, who's 54 years old from right here in Bradford.
I've been bowling with Tim since I was 18 years old. We used to bowl. They had a league over here, Thursday Night Classic League, 5-man, and we were on a team, and same thing, it was a scratch league, which those are few and far between nowadays.
Yeah.
But it was just a great league. They had 16 teams of men and 8 teams of women, so every Thursday night this place was full. And I've been bowling. Tim's a competitor. Let me tell you what, he's not going to go down without a fight no matter what.
Oh, that
God.
one just
That
was
a great shot.
And Tim does a little bit of organizational and work for you as well, too. Runs some of your leagues, doesn't he?
He helped us out tremendously with this because, with my schedule, I couldn't get here sometimes for the qualifiers. He was right there for me. Did a great job. He runs that tournament I was telling you about earlier, and he works a little bit in the pro shop, too. So, yeah, he does a lot for us.
That's great. Good for him. All right, so it's a spare for Tim in the 3rd frame, and the way Shawn is bowling, that might be the difference in this match.
That's just a terrible break, though, leaving that stone 8.
Shawn Mosier's 33 years old, from Kersey, Pennsylvania. Operations superintendent at the American Refining Group, which is one of the big companies down here in the Bradford area.
Wow.
And he bowls here regularly on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in your league, right?
Yes.
That must be a pretty good league, huh?
The Tuesday league is our big money league. It's $2,000 to win doubles, guaranteed, no matter how many teams we have. And we've built that league pretty good, so that's a good money league. Sue, you being a bowler, you know the money leagues. Everybody likes those money leagues.
You're right. We don't have too many of them anymore left in Buffalo.
Oh, and there's a terrible break for
there
Shawn.
There you go. It's those middle single pins that have plagued each of these guys so far. Last match, Shawn opened with 9 consecutive strikes, and that won't happen here as he goes the first 3, and now we'll have to work on the spare. And once again, there's our special scorekeeper for this match, Tricia McElroy, a member of the Pitt Bradford bowling team, which hosts its home matches right here at Byllye Lanes. You like that association with the university, Paul?
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. It's just what it is. What this is. It's good for bowling. This show getting started back up. It's great for bowling, and I'm just glad we could bring it here to the area.
Yeah, and again, for those people that don't know, the story is unique in that you made the show down in Jamestown earlier in the year, bowled that 300 game we talked about, but you were impressed by the show and how it happened and how it came to be, and you said, well, okay, I'm a bowling proprietor, and how do I get this show down at my place?
And yeah, and like I said, it's just good for bowling. I had a couple of guys that came here to watch today, and the minute they came through the door, they said, you know, this is good for bowling. I mean, they're not even bowlers; they're just here to watch. I mean, so you know it's good for bowling when somebody like that doesn't even bowl comes in here.
Right. So, how did you find the time managing these two bowling centers and your other responsibilities to go down to Jamestown to even start the process of trying to make the show?
It just worked out luckily. We were supposed to be going to Bristol to the races because I was on vacation that weekend. And it rained. It was going to rain, so we'd been there the last 2 years, and it rained, and they delay the race and everything else. And I just said, we're not going to go. We'll eat the tickets, and then I had a chance to go qualified, and the rest is history, as they say.
By the way, I'm jealous because on my bucket list of sports things to do in my lifetime is to see a NASCAR race at Bristol.
You have to, especially the night race. If you go, you got to go at night.
It is one of the great, they call it the Coliseum, right? And it's an awesome
venue.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Why is that?
Because it's the shortest track in all of NASCAR, half mile, but the stands go straight up, right? You've been there. I've just seen it on TV.
It's like you're in a big bowl, so you're right down in a bowl. But like he said, the seats are just sky high. I mean, it's so loud there too. You have to wear. If you're not wearing earmuffs or earplugs, you're gonna go home deaf.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. So Shawn misses the target there a little bit, gets it a little too far left, and he'll have some work to do for a 6th frame strike.
Yeah, he was a little slow there, Paul. You can see he was only 17.9.
18 miles. Yeah, that's slow. 18 miles an hour. He's throwing that thing so fast, the Bradford Regional Airport's calling over here wondering what the heck you're doing at Byllye Lanes. They got planes landing that don't go that fast.
This looks like a good time to take a break. We'll be back with more Beat the Champ right after this. Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
How much bragging rights are on the line between these two guys in this match? Is the winner going to hold this over the loser's head for months?
There's the first guy there that was on the show today, Jeremy. He's going to be the one taking the ribbon.
He isn't here.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So here's Tim Montouri making the turn here at the 6th frame.
Nice.
Boy, he's bowling great. That's 3 in a row for Tim. First
so
2 strikes. Sorry,
it is. Like I said, he's a total. You go to a team tournament or something, you want him on your team because he's giving you everything he's got, every frame, every shot.
54 years old, a shipping transportation manager. He's been bowling for since he was 6-7 years old. 227 average. Even though he doesn't bowl in your leagues anymore, right?
Yeah. sometimes there just isn't enough time in the day, but he still likes to bowl. Oh.
Oh, that went a little. He got
Yep,
that a little
it
right.
did.
Went a
It
little
did.
long on him. Not a bad shot by any stretch. The
Nope.
naked eye, that looks like a good shot, but you could just see it go a little bit too far down the lane, and the break point was a little too sharp.
Now, what might have caused that?
He missed a little bit to the right, so it took a little bit longer to make the turn, and the turn was sharp. And sharp turns into the 1-3 pocket ring 10 pins.
So Tim rescues it with a spare in the 7th frame. We've still got qualifying going on for next month's trip to Lockport. Brad Angelo Lanes is where we're going to be. Still an opportunity for you to get a part of that show. And remember, the top qualifier in the round of 24 wins a television valued at $500 from Dirt Cheap TV. So make sure you get out. Thanksgiving is over. Digested all that turkey and get out and do a little bowling. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. That's not going to make Shawn Mosier feel like it's a great Thanksgiving. He's got a difficult spare to try to get here in the 7th frame.
Absolutely, and that's going to put him in a tough situation in this match. But also to mention tonight is the Hall of Fame dinner, and that's tonight, Saturday the 24th, and tomorrow the 25th is the big day at Brad Angelo's, because that's also the day that they have the qualifiers, but the roll-off is at night. So you get everything done in one day. Go tomorrow, make the cut, bowl the top 24, make the show all in one day.
Do you know what the connection between Thanksgiving and bowling is?
Turkeys.
There you go, thank you. Teed you up for that one easily enough.
Ham bones.
Right, there you go, see? See, everything all comes back to bowling in the world, right? In our world, it all comes back to bowling. All right, good follow-up to the open. It's a strike in the 8th for Shawn Mosier. So where are we at in this match? We're battling here, aren't we?
Well, Tim has a 20-pin lead. That really, we're 2/3 of the way through the game, but still, with a strike up, Shawn's putting the pressure back on Tim to strike, because those strikes can take care of a 20-pin lead in a hurry if you're not both striking. Big strike
one.
there.
I think we need more bowling nicknames related to Thanksgiving foods, right? You guys make up crazy bowling nicknames out of the air all the time with this stuff that you drop all over on me.
You people make enough fun of
can't I
bowling.
make up like a cranberry? Like he went all cranberry sauce on that one, right? I can't do that.
What am I going to do with you? You insisted on making fun of bowling.
I insist on making fun of you guys
and those
creating all kinds of nutty nicknames that I can't keep track of.
The movies that make fun of bowling.
I have not brought up Kingpin in a year, at least a year. I have not brought that up.
All right.
Paul, save me here, will you? Do you have? Are there? Now let me ask you this: are there Pennsylvania bowling nicknames that they don't use in Buffalo?
I got to side with Sue on this one, Paul. I mean, because I religiously watch the show every week. We tape it, and actually on a Sunday night, my wife will sit there and watch it. You are kind of making fun of bowling all the time.
Okay. All right. I guess I know my place now, don't I?
I know. They brought this.
But it's
this
good. It's entertainment. That's why you're here.
Yes, it is.
This hat with horns and the Kingpin movie.
It's not me making fun of it.
What?
It's me trying to keep track of it, and then all of a sudden you learn one thing, you call it something, and then somebody comes up, that's not right, we call it this. And I'm like, well, that's great. You know, that's why I asked you. There's got to be something you guys use down here that they don't
Big
use
shot.
in Buffalo.
I will ask you this, because only in Buffalo do we call crossover strikes Brooklyns because of the New York connection.
Correct.
In New York City, like that, I think they call it Jersey.
Jersey.
Do they call it a Philly here?
Yeah, I've never heard that term.
What do they call it here?
Nothing. It's
If you go Brooklyn, it's not Brooklyn?
It's Brooklyn.
It's Brooklyn,
Yeah,
okay.
or like you said, Jersey. One or the other. That was a big shot in the 9th for Shawn.
Sure was.
Oh,
Well, he needed that too. That's a tough
That's,
ring 10.
If he makes this and strikes, he can get 214. All Tim's got to do is pretty much spare in the 10th, and he's good.
So let's see what Shawn will do to finish out the 10th frame here. That was a tough break.
It was a good shot too. No.
Oh, that's not what he wanted.
Tim, he just won the match sitting down.
Yep, that's not what he wanted. So a difficult match, not quite the same level that Shawn was doing in the previous two, and his winning streak is going to come to an end as he puts the 202 on the board. So it's going to be Tim Montouri going to get his first ever Beat the Champ win, keep the Bradford pride alive into the final match against Buffalo's Chuck Jagodzinski. Paul, it's been a wonderful time we've had down here, and we got one more week to go with your exhibition match coming up next week. But good stuff. Thank you for the time.
Thank you,
one
guys.
more big one between Tim and Chuck Jagodzinski. That's our next match. We'll get to it when we return to Bradford, PA, right after this. Well, Shawn, you were our first bowler to win 2 in a row here at Byllye Lanes, but then you ran into a guy who knows how to bowl here pretty well too, doesn't he?
Yeah, old Timmy, he's a little buzzsaw. And, he's going to hold that over my head for a while.
You're going to hear about that one, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That might cost you a few at the bar here?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, it was really fun, particularly in some of the warm-ups, watching you throw some balls at 25 miles an hour down the lanes. I mean, that's pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it comes out. I mean, I'm not really forcing it or anything, so, but that's just...
If you really tried hard to blow one down there, how fast could you get it?
I might be able to hit 30.
30 miles an hour, Geiger?
That's only if he leaves a 10 pin. He might be mad then. But it was, listen, the match before that when he had against Danny Gould there, I wanted to see the 300, obviously, you know, but it didn't work out that way. But he bowled 2 great games, and you know Tim's tough. Like I told you, he's a competitor. He's not gonna let up. But Shawn, here's a little consolation prize. Thanks for bowling.
Thank you.
And hope you had a good time, and we're glad you did it.
Yeah, he's still the only Byllye Lanes guy to throw a 300 on Beat the Champ. So.
Yeah, how about that?
Lefties.
Lefties. There you go. Always a reason for it. All right, we got another good one. It's going to be Tim Montouri and Chuck Jagodzinski. That is our next match. Stick around. Going to be fun right here on Beat the Champ.
I'm here today with Chuck Jagodzinski, 84 miles from home. Heard you had to have a chauffeur.
Yeah, that'd be Fran Bags. I call him my Uber driver, but chauffeur, same thing.
Why'd you need a chauffeur out here?
Because I'm special.
Okay, well, I don't even know if I can say anything more about that. We know you're special. And put on a special performance for us today, will you?
I'll give it my best.
I love talking to you, Chuck. Good luck to Chuck today.
Yep, thank you.
Can we say this is a matchup of grizzled veterans? Chuck Jagodzinski and Tim Montouri. These guys have been, between the two of them, they have been bowling for about 80, almost 90 years. So I think that qualifies. But we've got one of the best bowlers in Buffalo versus one of the best bowlers in Bradford. So this is there's some geography on the line in this one. And Chuck Jagodzinski indicates he is here and serious.
And one thing Paul Geiger said to us was that this guy, Tim, is a tough competitor, and you know, he will bear down and he will go down fighting.
Chuck Jagodzinski's heckling us.
I told you he was in rare form
today. He is
today.
in rare form, yes he is. Chuck is heckling us already, so.
Ooh,
and Tim misses the 10 pin there, so. Tim Montouri, as I mentioned, is 54 years old from right here in Bradford. He has been bowling for 45 years. 227 average for Tim, and he was very impressive in beating Shawn Mosier in the last match. And you could tell this is a guy who knows his way around the lanes.
Yeah, he never pressed when Shawn was striking so much in the beginning. He didn't press, he just bowled his game. And that to me is kind of veteran, you know, not to get all nervous and start looking at scores too much in the beginning. You really have to, you know, it's a grind out. It's not just the first 3 frames. It's 10 frames, and it goes that far.
You know, I'm trying to think here as I look back over my stat sheets. The lowest score posted by a winner so far here at Byllye Lanes is 217.
And you know,
I would say the average is somewhere around 240 for our winners.
Right, and it's felt like that's the necessity because they've been pushed by their opponent. There hasn't been any real blowouts, you know, early on in the match. They've been pressing each other going all along.
Oh, Billy, 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 Billy! It's been a good day of bowling here. All right, Jagodzinski, second frame. Oh, he's feeling it.
Oh, he is feeling it.
He's feeling it, and he's throwing it about 18 miles per hour while we're locked in on the speed gauge.
Oh, if we don't, he'll be over here.
Oh yeah, he will be over here. So there you go. Chuck Jagodzinski is from Lancaster, 51 years old. This is his 20th appearance on Beat the Champ. He is 117 and lost 12. He is second to Mike Zarcone in number of appearances and number of wins.
And give him credit for driving down here. He was the cut. I believe he tied for the final spot.
He did with Paul Geiger's son Blake. So they had a roll off after the roll off.
Right, right.
So yeah, give Chuck a lot of credit. He last time we saw Chuck was at Classic Lanes in September, where he won 3 in a row before losing. So I feel like we see Chuck every month, or if it's not every month, it's every other month. So that was a disappointing roll for Tim Montouri.
Yeah, that was soft, and we put a lot of focus on ball speed here, but in this case, you need the ball speed because these lanes are breaking down. So his ball actually rolled out, which means that the ball completely ran out of energy. So it started using its energy too early. You know, I said skid, roll, hook.
Yep.
It didn't do enough roll in the middle, and it actually goes into its hook too early and just peters out because it only has so much energy, and that's what happened there.
All right, good rescue though for Tim Montouri, getting that spare in the third frame, but already behind the 8 ball, or the 10 pins in this case.
You have them today too. you and Chuck are gonna have a great talk today.
Oh yeah, as Chuck has thrown 3 straight strikes and Tim is 2 spares and a strike, so Chuck brings out the best in him. Whether I want it or not.
It's gotten a lot easier over the years though, hasn't it?
He's true. He is the ultimate competitor. And that's what we love about him.
Yep. That is true. I don't think anybody gets more upset when they don't win.
That's what makes great competitors,
Yeah.
that desire, that passion to win, and they'll accept nothing less than that. You know, I mean, some of the all-time great athletes that we've ever watched in any sport were guys that just did not want it. They hate to lose. The cliche is they hate to lose more than they like to win.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And that's a tough one right there for Tim Montouri, as it's an open in the 4th, and now you feel like Chuck Jagodzinski knows that he can start to put the hammer down.
Yep.
Oh, big wobble on the 10
shot,
pin.
Though. That one was a little slower. That was 17 and a half, and he's been in the 18 and a half.
Getting tired. Oh, Chuck's going to be mad at us when he watches this back. Spare in the 4th for Chuck Jagodzinski. Chuck wanted me to pass along a little message, courtesy of he and his wife, Michelle. They wanted to give a little shout out to their friends, Katie and Evan, for the birth of their little girl, Maya Elise, born on November 1st. Little baby girl. Congratulations to Katie and Evan. The action will continue on Beat the Champ in just a minute. Welcome back to Beat the Champ. And Chuck even got his buddy Fran Bax to drive him down here.
Uber driver
Fran Bax. That's right. Got Fran Bax here to weave his way down the 219 to get here to Bradford. Good strike. Tim Montouri needed that one.
He changed balls there to that other one wasn't working anymore. He wore out.
Wore out. Done.
Dead.
Out of strikes.
It rolled out.
None
And that's it. Once a ball rolls out, forget it.
There you get a look at Tricia McElroy, our guest scorekeeper from the Pitt Bradford women's bowling team. She's doing a great job on the board there. The Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. And another good strike, 2 in a row. That's a double for Tim Montouri. Don't forget, winner of this match will have a little drive to make. up to Lockport, because in 2 weeks, the winner of this match will take on a whole new set of 9 competitors based on our qualifying up at Brad Angelo Lanes. That's where we'll be in 2 weeks. Of course, next week, it's going to be our special 4th show, Youth Bowling Challenge next week here in Bradford.
That's right. Instead of it being this format, we're going to do a stepladder format, and it'll be a handicap event, but from what I understand, these bowlers are so strong, there may not be any handicap to give out. It might just be even up.
So that'll be next week's show. Make sure you join us for that. Oh, Chuck is bowling great right now.
And real quick, that was a wide open pocket. And a wide open pocket is when the 1 and the 3 have a lot of space between them. And the best way to strike on a wide open pocket is high flush, and that's exactly what he did.
So he saw that.
I would think he did. I would think he did, because he actually gave that one a little bit more. He pushed it a little bit more to the left to sit up high flush. And if he didn't do it on purpose, it was definitely the right move.
What happened there with Tim? Didn't like what happened there?
I'm guessing the young man on 23 went up at the same time he did.
Oh, okay.
And the kids are practicing a couple lanes over, and if they're walking at the same time as you, it's very distracting.
Is it? You see it out of the corner of your eye?
You do. He did the right thing.
Well, whatever that decision was, it was the right one. So that's 3 in a row now for Tim Montouri, as he's going to put the heat on Chuck here and make sure Chuck keeps bowling the way that he is.
Yeah, I'm sure the young man didn't realize it because there's a lot of equipment in between the two of them, but still, you're going to catch that out of the corner of your eye when you're going at the exact same time as somebody else. Oh, that was in.
Seemed to put a little extra spin on that off his finger, no?
He turned it early.
Right.
So, yeah, he did get his hand rotation went sooner. He didn't wait behind the ball long enough, and it's going to be a little bit of a pull when you do that. He's in the right spot on the lane, but can't overcome that.
And we want to thank the folks at the University of Pitt Bradford for being supporters of our trip down here to Bradford, PA at Byllye Lanes, and they've been wonderful, and we've had a chance to get to know a lot about the area, about Pitt Bradford, a terrific school, not that far from Buffalo. If you're somebody watching up in Western New York looking for the right place for yourself to go to college, there's an opportunity.
Wow.
A little over an hour and a half away to come to a nice small school in the right kind of setting like that.
Their enthusiasm and their commitment is kind of contagious. I thought that they just sold the school so strongly, and I mean, made me want to go back to school. But what great representatives for the college.
Oh! Look at that. Chuck throws his arms up in the air like, how did that happen? I almost wonder if the pin that was lying in front of it kept it up.
Yeah, sometimes that'll happen. Another pin will stand it up.
Chuck's looking for like a replay review here or something. An official's ruling. Or an earthquake. One or the other. Wow, that was crazy. That was wild, but that's all right. Spare ball there for Chuck Jagodzinski in the 8th frame, make it the 9th frame for Chuck. So it's going to be a Chuck Jagodzinski victory, and it's going to be his 18th overall win as he continues to chase Mike Zarcone for the #1 spot in wins, and I know Chuck would love to get to that spot. So he's able to come up with the victory here, which means we will see him in 2 weeks at Brad Angelo Lanes when we move up to Lockport, but it's been fun. It's been fun watching all these great bowlers, including the Bradford guys like Shawn and Tim, show how good the bowling is down here.
Great competition, great competitors.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and talk to both guys and get you ready for our 4th show when we return to Byllye Lanes in Bradford, PA. It's Beat the Champ on the road in Pennsylvania. We're back right after this. It's a win for Chuck Jagodzinski over Tim Montouri. Tim, you bowled great. You showed off Bradford. How much fun was this?
Oh, this was great. It was a bucket list deal. I made it on television, so My bowling career's over.
And you got a chance to beat your buddy Shawn, and he says he's gonna hold. You're gonna hold that over him forever.
No, Shawn's a good guy. I really didn't anticipate beating him because I thought he had the shot for the condition. He had the ball speed, and he was playing up the boards, and that's what I thought was going to be the winner. And I got lucky and took advantage of it.
He didn't really get lucky, did he?
He didn't. Like I told you when he was bowling, he's a competitor. I bowl him a long time, and he's not giving nothing away. That's for sure.
All right. Well, congratulations, Tim. It was good to see you bowl. Sue, we got our winner, a familiar face.
Yeah, you go from barely being here to being the champion. So tell us how you got here.
Well, I had a 745 in the first 3 games. Then I bowled for the top 24, 279. Then my luck changed. I barely got a 690. Then I tied. Then I barely won my roll-off, and then I...
But it was the tie, right? You were tied, almost didn't make it, and then...
I was storming outside. I thought I was ready to go home, and they called, "Oh, you tied. Come in and bowl another game." Okay.
Oh, and here you are, leaving as the champ.
Yep.
Good bowling.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
All right, Chuck Jagodzinski, we're going to see him in 2 weeks as he'll advance up to Lockport for our next series of shows. Sue and I will come back and wrap this week up and preview a really fun show next week. That's when we all come back to Byllye Lanes in Bradford. More Beat the Champ right after this. Well, even though Chuck Jagodzinski gets the win and he is one of our most familiar Beat the Champ faces, I thought the Bradford guys and Shawn and Tim really showed the level of talent and skill down here in this area with the way they bowled today.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, we're so used to seeing our local bowlers compete on a regular basis, and coming out here and seeing that that level of competition stretches beyond Western New York into this area, and still the same passion for bowling in these bowling centers. It's very similar to what we live with at home.
Yeah, and guess what? Make sure you join us next week because we're going to show you the next generation of great Northwest and Bradford area, Northwest Pennsylvania and Bradford area bowlers, because it's going to be our Byllye Lanes Youth Bowling Challenge. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It will. And from what we've heard, these kids are not slackers at all, and they're like almost scratch bowlers already.
All right.
So, you know, more competition for our Western New York youth.
Oh yeah. The bowling is great no matter where you go in this area, and that's why we have so much fun bringing you Beat the Champ. Make sure you join us for that. It'll be next week when we continue and wrap up our month-long stay here in Bradford, PA. We will see you from Pennsylvania next week.